I'm not showing anything below my waist. It's okay. I used to go to nudist colony in San Francisco, though, when I was about 24, 25. But there'll be no below the waist shots. The purpose of this video is to remain cool, composed, comported, acting like a gentleman, and being integrated in spite of watching porn, and no longer engaging in behavior where I would exhibit myself in front of a camera below the waist. You know, dissociative behavior, compulsive behavior, things like that, all of those things, particularly when your ass is on the line, they go out the window. They have to. When I was 26 years old, 25, 24 years old, I got more ass than I could shake a stick at, both guys and girls. 165 pounds, drop dead gorgeous, completely comfortable in my own skin, didn't smoke cigarettes, never drank any kind of alcohol, smoked a little weed, was on no pharmaceuticals. When I worked on Bill Clinton's campaign, I didn't take so much as an aspirin. Not an aspirin. Not one single aspirin. Now where we're at now because of the damage that's been done. But I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm just saying, just for the historical record, when I did work in the president's campaign in California, not so much as an aspirin. And certainly no cigarettes or alcohol or illicit drugs. That was out of the question. You know, I was talking to a friend yesterday about our returning veterans from Afghanistan. And I am absolutely convinced I'm a minister without portfolio. I've got training in medicine, training in the law, training in government, training in social work, nursing, politics, foreign policy. I'm a minister without portfolio. There are Schedule I narcotics like marijuana and MDA, not crack. Let the DEA pursue crack users and distributors into the gates of hell. Same thing with heroin and junk, PCP, and all that junk. But MDA in particular has the ability, I'm telling you, in a controlled clinical setting with the right psychiatrist in a VA, 10 years from now, when the politics of the DEA and President Nixon's 1971 legacy has finally been unshackled from us, where they're going to get real help. And the suicide rate is going to finally plummet. But until we allow those Schedule I narcotics into the repertoire of treatment, we're going to have deaths on our hands. And it's all politically unnecessary. There was an article I read in the Washington Post Saturday magazine about 7 years ago in the Starbucks on River Road. In fact, James Carville came in on that same day. But the fucking Secret Service detail. And you know what the detail was saying? Make way, Mr. Carter's coming in. Carville. At the Starbucks line. I couldn't fucking believe it. I said, who elevated him to getting a fucking detail? But in that article that day, I read about a South Carolina psychiatrist who had gotten DEA approval to keep in his safe a quantity of MDA and would select patients to dispense it in a controlled setting. And his findings were fascinating. What happens is that these guys who were wholly integrated when they went overseas, being able to touch their wives, make love to them, hug their children, be connected to a pastor, a church, no barriers at all. All those barriers, from whether it's traumatic brain injury, they're all there when they come back. The NVA brings it down. It allows the psychiatrist the opportunity to get in the patient's head so that he can finally pick up his kids and hug them again. He can finally touch his wife. I don't mean have sex with her. I mean love her, touch her. He can connect again with his church. He can find employment. He can be reintegrated. But again, the politics of the war on drugs, and it's a tragedy. But I'm with the DEA entirely. Chase into the gates of hell PCP users, crack users, heroin users, Oxycontin, all those opiate pills that are sold by pill mill doctors in the Appalachia. Chase them into the gates of hell. But guys, trust me, the VA needs desperate help. And I'm not sure they even are under your purview anyway. But I'm telling you, you're going to have to trust my political, my intellectual, spiritual, and in this case medical expertise that I'm right. So unfortunately we have to wait a few years for those politics to shake out. But that article that I read in the River Road Starbucks, the day that fucking Cargill comes in with a Secret Service detail, I'm not kidding you, was 2007 in Montgomery County, Maryland, at the Starbucks where the Rite Aid is on River Road. South Carolina psychiatrist. Reference it, read it. Fascinating piece. Anyway, that's all for me.